Can you take us through the first time you had to use a weapon and what was going through your
First time
mind?
I had to use a weapon.
Yeah, and what was going through your mind?
The first time I used a weapon was let's see, 1998. Well, I had got into a fight with a guy in quarantine, and I beat him up in quarantine. So he came to prison maybe like 3 weeks before I did. He joined the gang. Unbeknownst to me, he had joined the gang before I even got here. So when I get to prison, he sent was a gang buddies at MR, and he's like, "Yeah, that's the guy who got at me in quarantine." So they sent him to try to get at me in the chow. So he hit me in the chow. He hit me in town. I go to the hole. We both go to segregation, but they let me right out because I didn't do anything. So when I get out of segregation, he get out of segregation too. And a brother by the name of Richard X from across Jefferson, Richard X, Richard Baldwin, that's my man. He said, "Man, you know you gotta retaliate." I'm like, "What you mean retaliate? I go beat him up. I go beat his ass, right?" He said, "No, you gotta send a message." I'm like, "What you mean, bro?" He said, "Yeah, I'm gonna give you this homemade knife. He said, I'm gonna give you this knife, and I need you to stab him." I said, "Stab him?" I said, "I ain't never stabbed nobody before, bro." He said, he gave me a piece of ice pick, maybe 6 or 7 inches long with a cotton handle on it. It's like, "Listen, this you do. You walk up to him, you grab his shirt, and you hit him in his face and his neck area like 5, 6 times, and you keep walking." I'm like, "What if he got one?" He said, "Do what you need to do." So I did that and got him, and I got away with it.
What?
And that guy went to protection. I never seen him again.
What? What?
That was my first time ever using a knife, and to be honest with you, I kind of liked it, so I kept going. I kept using them.
What?
So,
What was going
that's
through your
me just
head?
being honest, man.
What was going through your head? What was going through your head? Was you real nervous?
I was nervous because I never used one before, and that's what made me nervous. I never used a knife before. I ain't never used one. I didn't grow up using no knife and nothing like that. So when you like, "I'm gonna give you a homemade knife," I'm like, "What are you talking about?" But I was nervous. But over the years, it became like a normal thing for me. It's like second nature. Because using a knife in here, it doesn't really matter if you have a knife in here or not. Because if a person out of fight, they can take the knife from you. And just because you got a knife doesn't mean all the time that you're going to win.
Right.
You're not a guaranteed win just because you got a weapon. Because guys that came at me with weapons before, and I know how to fight, and made you lose that knife. So, and I done took some from guys. So if you don't know what you're doing, then it's not going to be beneficial for you.
What was the look on his face when you hit him?
I kind of snuck him, so it was like more like surprised he was trying to get away from me. But I had grabbed his shirt. I put my hand up his shirt and wrapped my hands in it. You know, you got to stick one hand up on the back of his shirt, and I wrapped it real quick around my hand. So by the time I went around the second time, I was already stabbing him.
Damn.
So he was more shocked than hurt. But after about the third time, he really started to feel it because he started hollering, and I was like, "Okay, it's time for him to let him go now." Because like I said, it's my first time doing it, so I really ain't really know how to go about doing it stuff. But I was just, some guys were there with me. They was telling me how to do it, and they was just watching.
Have you ever used a razor?
Have I what?
Have you ever used a razor?
Razor? No, I ain't never used no razor. To me, the razor is sloppy. Razors draw too much attention. I mean, some guys use razors because they're quick and you just keep on moving, but then razors open you up. But when I came to the penitentiary, razors was used for one specific reason, though. Those were only used for guys who were snitches. That's the only time you use a razor on a guy. This was the indication that you was a guy, we call it buck 50. So if you buck 50 a guy, this was the indication. If he got a big scar on his face or neck or something like that, or the razor, when I came to prison, that was a sign that this guy was a rat or this guy was a snitch. But now, then years later, guys just started using razors because it became more convenient.
Yeah, I think the Bloods messed that up.
I
But
never used a lock either, but guys don't use locks before. I never used one.
yeah, I definitely used those. uh, so how many incidents do you think that you had to use a knife with?
You know what's funny? Every time I don't use that knife and every time I done been in segregation has never been because of something I did. It's always me protecting somebody that I'm cool with or protecting somebody that's part of my religious organization. You know, you got because the Moorish Science America was is the biggest organization in penitentiary. A lot of guys within the Moorish Science America come to it for protection, and they get involved in situations where they get things from guys knowing that we're not going to let nobody do nothing to you, and it shouldn't be that way, but it is. It is that way, but it's like I said, it shouldn't be that way, but it is. And we always got this saying that we're gonna protect our own. That if one of our own do something, you better not touch him. We'll discipline our own, but you better not touch him. So we always defend our own. So I did it. I don't know, man. It's different. But
Okay.
a lot of guys use this, huh?
No, go ahead. I didn't say nothing.
A lot of guys use it because they feel like we know that he's going to protect us. So guys will go out there and purposely, like a lot of guys like to play basketball. I don't play basketball and I don't gamble. But guys will go out there and play basketball and talk a slip because they know that more South American guys outnumber you guys 4-1 on the compound. So we just ain't gonna let nobody do nothing to you. In my case, I have never been to segregation for something I did because I don't have problems in the penitentiary. I'm cool with everybody. If I choose to mess with you, I'm cool with you. Every time I've been in segregation, me protecting somebody a part of my organization or somebody that I'm cool with, like from the East Side or anybody anywhere I'm from. I don't care where you're from, Ben Harbor, Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, it doesn't matter. If I'm cool with you and I feel like you did something wrong, we'll deal with that later on. Right now, we're going to deal with the incident with a thread at hand right now. I know that's kind of morbid to say and it's kind of messed up thing the way to live in the penitentiary, but it was a fact of life in the penitentiary. You had to protect your own. You can't let nobody do nothing to what's yours.
Right. People gotta understand that it's a different world, different environment in there.
Right, and here it is. I got beef for guys that I had nothing to do with. Like I said, I'm cool with everybody, but here it is. I'm defending guys who purposely go out and do these things. You go to a gambling house, go out there and gamble, and owe guys $50, $60, $100, whatever, and you know damn well you ain't got the money to pay it. But here it is, a guy come to you and want to bust your head or stab you for his money, and then you come run to me like, hey P, man, this guy here trying to get at me, or this guy done got at me, and I'm like, damn, okay, let's go get him now because of some wrong actions that you did. And I never been the one to discipline my own. But we'll deal with your problems later on, but I'm not going to let nobody do nothing to you. And I had to get out of that frame of mind. Once I started becoming to the knowledge of who I really am, though, I got out of that, though. I started making guys fight for themselves then. I stopped protecting guys who was going out there purposely doing all this garbage, thinking they could run back to me or anybody else for protection. But guys do it, and I stopped it.
Is it any of those stabbing incidents where you look back on it and you say, damn, I regret that one. I shouldn't have did that one?
Honestly, all of them, bro. Be straight up honest with you, all of them. Because, like I said, 99% of them was something that I didn't have nothing to do with. It was always me protecting somebody else. Me looking back. I told you that right now my mentality as far as penitentiary has changed. My perspective on penitentiary, my perspective on people in general, my people in general, has totally changed. I'm no longer one of those guys that want to destroy everything or hurt somebody who got the same skin complexion, any skin complexion like me. Right now, I'm into building instead of destroying. So right now, my mind frame is I'm helping anybody. I'm trying to build now instead of destroying. So everything that I did in the past as far as harming people, I regret that because I'm like, if I'm supposed to be a part of the Motorcycle Community and I'm supposed to be better for the betterment and uplift of my people, why am I harming you? Why am I harming people that look like me? And I understand the conditions that we're in, and these conditions put us in these positions for us to act the way we do. But I don't have to act like that all the time. I chose to make that choice to do that, and I regret those decisions now, man. Looking back, I regret those decisions.
To the original question.
I ain't wasting my time.
Okay. Oh, to the original question I asked you, how many guys do you think you stabbed in the penitentiary?
I honestly don't know.
So,
like I said, in 5.5 years at MR, and MR was a war zone, bro. If anybody ever heard of MR or Gladiator School, that place was a war zone. I mean, a literally war zone. People talk about the penitentiary in the world, and they talk about all the stuff that happens on penitentiary, and they see all these things in the street, and they watch all these movies about the penitentiary. Those things really happened at MR. It really was land like that. People got to understand, penitentiary is really not no different from the world. Everything that you got out there in the street, we got in the penitentiary stuff, guns and cars. And I believe for the right price, you can get a gun in the car here. Money can buy you anything you want in the penitentiary.
Right.
Anything you want. Whatever y'all out there in the street, we got it here. It's just gonna cost us a little more.
Have anybody you
ever tell you that everything that you got out there, we get.
Have you ever done something to somebody, right, and they got put back on the same compound as you?
Say it one time.
Have you ever done anything to somebody and they got put back on the same compound as you?
Oh no. When I do something to you, you're not coming back on this compound. Me, you leaving. You definitely going. You going on a trip. If you're not going to the hospital, you definitely going to get some medical attention very soon. You're going to need some. If I do something to a person, you need some medical attention. you definitely going to need some medical attention.
Do,
It
do you,
makes no point if you do something to somebody, then let them come right back at us so they can get back at you. It doesn't work that way. If I do something to you, I'm going to make it count. You're going to need some medical attention.
do you do you ever fear they might mess up and put somebody that got a spine in their files that's supposed to be away from you? Do you ever feel like they might?
Touch my shit, bro. I ain't gonna do no bow legs. Huh?
Do you feel like they ever make? Do you feel like they ever make a mistake and put somebody back on the same compound as you? Do you fear that?
I worry about that a lot because sometimes I don't even remember some of the guys that I done got into it with. Like I said, I was defending guys. I was doing things to guys defending other people. Sometimes I don't.
You have 1 minute remaining.
So it just, by the grace of God, it hasn't happened yet, and I hope it doesn't because the mission and the plan that I got set for myself right now and for my family and for the community and what I'm trying to do with myself and what I'm trying to do with my life, as far as the betterment of myself and betterment of my family and community, I pray that it doesn't happen. If it does, I feel like I got enough to talk my way out of the situation now.
Exactly. Man, thank you for kicking it with us today. Hopefully we can continue tomorrow on this, man. Right now we got PL. What? Say your prison number one more time.
259-182.
259
Parker Hill.
182. Y'all can hit him on JPay.
Correctional facility.
You can hit him on JPay or through the mail, but make sure if you do send mail, put your address inside on a piece of paper because they don't get the envelopes no more. Is that still accurate?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thanks, PL.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
Are there a lot of sexual assaults that happen in prison?
I hear you.
Are there a lot of sexual assaults that happen in prison?
Shit, not really here. Since I've been here, only two happened since I've been here in the last 2 years. Little brother was raped by maybe a couple of months ago, man. Kind of messed the little brother up, man. He went on suicide watching everything. They wrote him out of here kind of quick. And not here, but when I first came to prison at MR, Gladiator School, that shit used to happen maybe 3-4 times a day, man.
Wow. Far as with the little brother that happened to, what ethnicity was he?
He was a black guy.
Oh, so black.
And his bunkie was like, his bunkie had him maybe about like 200 pounds, man. And here's the thing about that too, because I talked to the little brother. I watched him one time when I was on POA. I was on my prison observation aid. I was watching him one time. He just stand up through and he just stared. See, I didn't know what happened to me at first, and he wouldn't talk. And I asked some other guys that was down there with me, like, what's wrong with the little brother? Why he won't talk? Why he just stand there with a little blank stare on his face? And he told me that his bunkie had raped him. And I was trying to talk to him. After about the third day I watched him, he finally opened up and started talking to me. And he was like, big bro, he said, man, I'm fucked up. I don't even know how to take this, y'all. Because when a trauma like that happens to a person, man, especially a man, and somebody overpower you and do that to you, that shit takes a piece of you, man. It takes a part of you that somebody can never get back, and something that nobody can never explain. And a person who had never experienced that type of trauma can never tell that person how to feel, how not to feel, or if they understand or not, because that's something that that when a person goes through, it's not only demeaning, it's like, damn, you did this to another man. How can you do this to another man, dog? And then call yourself a man. I mean, people got their own ways of living in here. It's just something I never got off into, man.
Do you think he's seen the signs beforehand?
Now, see, that's what he told me. He told me that his monkey used to wrestle with him, and like his monkey had started like wrestling with him and starting to play with him and touch him and stuff like that. He said he heard stories about it, so he said he went to the officers and told the officers that he wanted to get moved. He no longer felt safe in their room, and the officers didn't believe him, and that's what happened.
Wow.
And that's the crazy part about the penitentiary. A lot of people don't understand that a lot of things in the penitentiary can be prevented if the officers get the proper training to deal with this type of stuff. But just like with the COVID situation, man, these people are bringing this stuff in to us, and all they got to do is simple 15-minute test before they come into the facility. Instead of them doing that, they want them paychecks, and they come in and give us COVID. And nobody says nothing about that. Oh, they prisoners. We don't care about that type of stuff. And this is the way people treat us, though. And like that incident with the little brother who got raped, it could have been prevented. He went to the officer, told the officer that he's having problems with his monkey. And they do like they always do. Oh, you ain't talking about nothing. It's not a big problem. Going back to yourself. And the man raped me, man.
Wow. Do you do you think he can seek some type of legal action, or it's not even documented to say he tried to get out of there?
They're gonna lie. They're gonna try to cover it up for the officer and say that he never came to them. But I talked to the little brother. He said he did, man. He said he went to the officer twice. He said he went to the officer twice and told him that he didn't feel safe in that room. He wanted to move, and they never moved him. And that was the result was the man raped him, man.
What,
And that's bad. That's for something like that to happen to a person, especially a little young guy. Little brother's only like 24, 25 years old. For something happen like how do you how do you even begin to heal behind something like that? How do you? Is it ain't nothing somebody can say to you that makes you feel that anything better? It's horrible, man.
could that happen to anybody?
Rehabilitation when they come to the penitentiary.
Right.
They just throw away the key. Hey, just like for example, let me give you an example. Yesterday, the power went out in a unit. Literally no water and the toilet couldn't flush. And you in another cell with a grown ass man from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night, and the toilet don't flush and no water. So the officer here named Tate, he called up front the control center to a captain by the name of Malloy. You know what the captain told him to tell us?
What's that?
Deal with it. Deal with it, man. That's what the captain told that man to tell us. Deal with it, man. So guys stopped their cell last night. They was ready to riot in this bitch because we have no toilet. We can't even flush the toilet. We have no water. But his answer, the captain response to that was for us to deal with it. Now, if everybody would have got together, there's over 260 guys in this unit. If everybody would have got together and decided to take this picture, y'all have been all on the news about how wrong we was. Look at those prisoners. They're menace to society, a bunch of murderers. They up there assault the staff. But y'all not telling the whole story. Y'all trapped us in a cell for 5 hours with a guy with no toilet, no water, and y'all told us to deal with it. So we deal with it. Y'all want to say we menace society and blame all this other crazy shit on us, say we bad guys now. But you're not telling the whole story.
Wow.
This is what happened last night. They ain't come in and fix our toilets last night till about 11:30 last night, man. We finally got water about 11:30 last night. Water and power. Inside our cells, we had no water and no power. And the toilets is controlled by the power, so we can't even flush our toilets. So they came in here last night, about 30 officers came in last night, making everybody lock down, getting y'all cells. And we have no toilet, we have no water. What do you want us to do? And the captain's response to that was, deal with it. But if we'd start acting like assholes and dealt with it the way everybody wanted to deal with it, you'd have been on the news talking how bad guys we is and we assaulting your staff and we doing all this shit, but you're not telling them what you told us to. Deal with it.
That sounds like a horror story, y'all. Y'all hear that? For any review.
Exactly, man. This is the type of stuff they do. They put out a persona that all this stuff be going on, but y'all not telling the whole story.
Right. To go back to the sexual assault thing, could that happen to anybody?
It can, but well, I don't believe. Well, I take that back. I don't think it can happen to just anybody. I believe a person got to put themselves. Well, not really put themselves in that situation. Like I said, people treat you the way you present yourself. Like I'm gonna use myself as an example. That would never happen to me. A guy would never even think about coming at me like that because I don't carry myself as far as first of all, I don't have nothing against homosexuals. Do your life, live your life the way you want to live your life. That's not my stuff, but that's bullshit. I don't have nothing to do with a way a guy live his life. Each his own. But if a guy put himself out there and they get involved in that type of lifestyle as far as homosexuality and you're playing a slip game mean that you're talking to each other and talking about each other's private parts and stuff like that. You inviting another man to your private parts. When guys play like that, you open a door for guys to treat you and present you a different type of way. And you run into the wrong person, they're going to take that and run with it, and they're going to keep on pushing their limits until they feel like there's an opening for them to do what they want to do. That's why you got these predators here. They like to play that game. Oh, they want to touch you and play this slip game with you, this homosexuality game with you. Then when they see they opening and they get to touching on you and stuff, then you tell them to stop. It's too late because you open the door for them to do that. I don't know if that was the case with the little brother who got raped. All I'm saying is that when you present yourself in that category, then guys will put you in that category and treat you like that.
Right. Wow. Now, you said it was 8 murders just at that facility alone. So during your 26 years, Have you seen more than one murder?
Oh, absolutely. MR, when I was at Michigan Reformatory at MR, I've seen, me personally, my own eyes, I've seen about maybe six. Yeah, about 5 or 6.
Are these intentional killings, or is just like maybe most of them was by mistake?
No, well, I don't think. Well, 2 was intentional. They was literally trying to kill him. They wouldn't stop on top of you, stabbing you in your chest with a big old knife, trying to kill you. Other ones, I don't think they was intentional. It's just when you stabbing a guy with a homemade knife, you know there's no telling what type of bacteria is on that knife. There's no telling. You're not a doctor or no type of body to actually know where you're stabbing this person at. So when you stabbing a person in their body and their neck and face, you are hitting vital organs and stuff that you know nothing about. So these things become affected by you using this knife, and it happens. It was, I mean, they accident murderers, but hey, you took that chance and you chose to use that knife, and this is the consequences.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, it never happened to me, but it could have.
Has anybody tried you in your earlier years in prison? Like, hey, maybe PL a punk.
Oh yeah, I got tried. Maybe my first 2 years in MR, I was tried because, like I said, because of who my family was, and I came from the street with the reputation of that family. Guys felt like, well, you don't have your family here with you, or you ain't got no gun with you. So I want to know if you still really laying like that now that you don't got no backup. So a few fights up here, some assaults and things like that. So I had to defend myself. I had to let guys know that just because they're not here with me, I'm still going to defend myself.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of sometimes that when I ran into incidents where a lot of guys had beef with my cousins that I never knew nothing about because I didn't know, but because that's my family, I still got to stand behind whatever my family did. So whatever they did, I'm like, okay. And them days, I'm like, I stand behind that. So it's whatever.
Exactly. What? At any point in time during your bid, did the whites have any like real power, like the white only groups?
Did they do what?
The white only groups at any point in time that they had like some real power and fear on the yard?
Oh yes, at MR we had a group of Aryan Nation at MR. They was built like guys in the being of gyms all day, muscle book guys type guys. They weren't no punks, man.
Wasn't no pushovers.
They would go at any religion, any gang they want to, and they was about their business too. So if you got a tool with them, you better handle your business. So they definitely gonna handle you.
What?
Aryan Nation had a nice presence when we was at MR. It was nice few of them in there. I mean, they mainly stayed to themselves, but if they had an issue, they wasn't backing down.
Right.
But right now, the white only groups is kind of they kind of few. They don't even you don't even hear them about it no more now.
Mm-hmm.
If the guy part of any type of those like white supremacist groups stuff like that, they don't even mention it no more.
Right. What? Oh,
I don't know if it's because they're scared or they lack the numbers or they lack the heart, but you see some guys with swastikas on them, they keep them covered up now. They don't even show them like they used to.
Exactly. I almost lost my train of thought, but would you say the Moors are still the biggest group in the penitentiary, or do you think the Bloods surpassed them?
No, we're still the biggest group. Moors still the biggest group in the penitentiary. Is just most of the guys that's more what we call rotate, meaning that guys who go to their meeting or attend their meeting, religious meeting.
Right.
You got so many guys in the penitentiary nowadays that's more that don't even attend their meetings, but more still is the biggest group.
Do you think
Blood's just the most known right now because they seem like they just multiplied overnight, man.
When did you see them start to come? When did you start noticing that change?
Maybe like late 2016, 2017, that really started getting kind of huge in the penitentiary.
Okay.
And I never understood it because when I first came to prison, you couldn't even find out. When one guy on the yard told me he was a blood, you couldn't even man. But now you throw a rock, you're gonna hit 3 of them. But when I first came to prison, they was nowhere near them. They was not here. You couldn't even pay one out somebody was blood on the yard.
What do you think about organizations like the Vice Lords and the Peace Stones joining the Moorish Science Temple of America?
Remaining.
What I think about Vice Lords?
What do you think about the Vice Lords, Peace Stones, and stuff like that joining the Moorish Science Temple of America?
I don't knock nobody who if they feel like the Moorish Science Temple of America can help them mentally, or better themselves, better their community, and better their family, then I feel like anybody can join the Moral Science America. The Moral Science America is a beautiful religion to me. It's just what you do with the teachings. That's all that counts for me. If you take the teachings and use them wisely, then it's gonna help you. If you don't use them wisely, then it's gonna be something bad. I don't believe that nobody should be turned away from the Moral Science America.
Yes. So some people out here argue that, but yeah, I definitely agree with you.
Yeah, I'm finna try to get somebody to see if he can put me through.